Hey family, how is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well this wonderful Saturday. Just getting back home. My pastor asked all of us if we would participate in the caravan, decorate our cars with scriptures and different things, and we went throughout the city in the caravan, blowing horns, playing music, and just trying to encourage the people. Listen, quick video. First of all, y'all already know. Hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. So every time I upload a video, you guys will get a notification about it, okay? We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you continuing to subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, you're not sure if you want to subscribe yet, I do appreciate you just taking the time to swing by the channel and say, hey, okay? So listen, quick video. I told you guys that I watch a reality TV show called Married to Medicine. Okay. And there's a particular doctor on there that I like pretty decent. Her name is Dr. Heavenly. And she has been doing these lives since she's been off work. One of her co-stars, the young lady's name is Toya. I don't know what Toya's last name is, bless God. But her husband is a doctor. Okay, her husband is a doctor. Remember I said the show is about doctors and doctors' wives. Okay, so Toya is the wife of one of the doctors that's a part of the show. Now this. Help me, y'all. Okay, I need the congregation's help on this one. Okay, all right. Toya called in to Dr. Heavenly's live. I think it was yesterday. And part of the conversation was about their children. Okay. And Toya made a statement that Dr. Heavenly's always saying that Toya's over there at her place doing nothing. But she has been working since Corona has been going on because she has been having to homeschool her children. And this is what I found interesting about that conversation, right? Dr. Heavenly's daughter is in private school and her child is still in school. Okay, from 7:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, she is still having classes, and they are using the technique that I suggested to my school district. If we're talking about moving forward in the 21st, 22nd century, preparing our children in preparing for the future, we cannot continue to educate our children back like we educated them back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s. We're not there anymore. The technology that was used at that time is dead technology now. So we have to use and teach our children to use the technology that's available to us now with an eye on the upcoming technology that's coming. Okay? And preparing your school district, putting your school district in a posture where if something like this does in fact happen, you can still go on to educate your children. You don't have to shut down a whole school and not educate the children at all if you take advantage of the technology that's in place. And the way Heavenly's daughter is being educated through her private school is the same suggestion that I made. Get you a GoToMeeting account, get you a Zoom account, get you whatever account that allows the teacher to be on one end of a computer screen. You send the information to the children, they log in, and boom, they're in a virtual classroom. I'm not talking about learning online, where you got a video of a teacher that then taught a class, and they're just spewing out or regurgitating past old information. That's online, where they give you the work and you got to read it for yourself and study for yourself. That's online class. I'm not talking about online class. I'm talking about a virtual classroom where the teacher is there and they are literally educating our children. I mean, this girl is able to have her PE class at her home in her room. And a PE teacher is there teaching them PE. Put your arm up. Put your arm down. Swing it around. Kick your leg up. Okay? So her child is being educated every day and not missed a beat. Toya's children are in private school. And according to her, the school gives their children 1 hour. 1 hour. And then the parents have to spend the rest of the day homeschooling the children. That's ridiculous. It's private. I bet you they're paying about the same amount of money. Private school is private school. Now, this is what I found interesting. Toya's child or children are in private school, and she's still having to pay the same fee to get 1 hour. She made the comment that her children were doing well. They were receiving progress reports and I guess report cards and everything, showing that her children were, or at least one in particular student, was a flat-foot A student. And because they were telling her, the school was telling her that her child was a straight A student, she never really pushed the issue or had a whole bunch of questions about his education because he has to be doing great. He's a straight A student. Little did she know that during the corona situation and allowing her to be at home with her children, having to homeschool her children, she learns that even though the school has been telling her that her son, or one of the sons, I don't know which one, she didn't say, but one of her children was a straight A student, she found out through working with him that he's struggling with reading. So then it makes you wonder, if you all have been telling me that my child is a straight A student that got me lulled to sleep because I'm not that interested, I'm not that involved, because you got to be doing great because he's a straight A student. Only to find out that my baby can't read. And this has been the long-standing argument between private education and public education. And I know there are many educators out there that know that just because a child is in a private school or in a charter school does not mean that education is going to be better than a public school. And I 100% agree. Okay? 100% agree. Now, I struggle between charter schools and public schools. I grew up in public school. My son is in public school. I got no problem with public school education. I got a problem with sorry public school education. I have a problem with that. And the biggest problem with public school education is that the money that goes into the school district, our school district is dependent upon these state funds and federal funds that come in for education. We're in an impoverished area, and so families, struggle with having the finances they need to even buy school supplies for the children. Okay? So it's a struggle, and I get it. It's a balancing act, and it's a struggle. I get it. I'm not tripping about it. I'm not coming down hard on public schools because I know that they need help. They need assistance. And I do understand that they need more funding. My issue with giving more funding, though, to public education is where they ultimately put the money. And that's a problem, guys. And I know I'm gonna come down hard on. I know y'all fixing to go off on me and everything, and that's fine. That's fine. Help me. If I'm wrong, you all believe I'm wrong and I'm not seeing it right, I always say, drop down there in the comments and tell me. We can disagree, and I'm willing to listen to an opposite point of view. Hey, if I'm wrong on how I'm seeing it, help me see better. What we don't do over here, though, is we don't attack people personally, we don't cuss folks out, and we don't do all of that stuff. But we have healthy dialogue, which means you can have a different opinion than me, and that's okay. We're not fixing to fall out over having a different opinion. And maybe I can help you see things a little bit different, or you can help me see things a little bit different. Okay? I'm not stuck to an opinion. Okay? But all I can do is go off what I see. Okay? I know we got to pay our administrators, and I know we got to pay our teachers out the hoo-ha if we want some good ones. But at some point, we're going to have to spend some money on the actual educating of the children if we want to see some actual growth. Okay. If I pay a teacher $100,000, then I'm paying her out the hoo-ha. I'm paying her what I believe she's worth. But if the children still can't pass these standardized tests, if the children are still coming out of classes struggling with reading and comprehension, what has my $100,000 gotten me? That's all I'm saying. But at the same time, I'm not going to drop $200,000 to put my children in a private school and my baby can't read. I ain't finna do that either. So private or charter does not in and of itself means that your baby is in a good school. No. And whether you got your child in a private school or in a charter school or in a public school, you better have your head up there at that school, checking on your baby, making sure that your baby is truly being educated and not just pushed along. Okay? Because you got that going on in the public school system, in the charter school system, in the private school system. It is happening. And at the end of the day, I want my baby educated. I was in a meeting with administrators and other community leaders, and I flat foot told them, consolidation is a booger. And merging schools when you have to consolidate becomes a greater booger. Okay? And I know how people are attaching and tied to their alma maters and their buildings. I get that. I was once in that situation before I was a parent. But now, after having become a parent, and understand that my child needs to be educated to the fullest extent of educational abilities in order to survive and rise in this country that he's in, I don't give a flying flickety flip about no building. If you're going to give my child an education that allows him to compete, not only with the child that's sitting in the seat next to him, but against the child that's sitting in the seat in Atlanta, Georgia, in South Dakota, in California, and that means educating him under a tree, take his little outside and put him under a tree. And it just interests me. And now I have the question. What is every other parent's, what have you found out about your children since you've had to actually spend all this time with them since we've been in the shelter in place? Have you found out that maybe your child has not been being educated as well as you thought he was or she? Did you find out that your baby is way more intelligent than what you thought he was or she? I keep saying he, but I mean he or she, right? What has been your experience? Have you learned that, hey, when I come out of Corona, I've learned that this school is not doing nothing for my baby. So when we start school back up, I'm sending him somewhere else. Because if I heard right, I could have swore I heard Toya say that her children will be starting a new school in the upcoming school year. She's not sending her babies back to that school. I wouldn't either. But that's all I got, guys. Fucking that Neva would say, that's all I got, ain't got no more. So that's the question. I thought that was quite interesting, and I wanted to bring a little light to it and see if we can spark a little conversation about it, because education is big, and right now even more so important than anything else, because my son is out of school. They gave him one pack of work to work on, and that's it. He ain't seen the teacher. He hadn't seen the teacher. And it's somewhat stressful, a little bit. that the world is still able to function through virtuality, right? The use of virtual technology. My school district hasn't been able to figure out how to do it. Shucks and Toya, at least you got an hour of instruction. Got that. But I'm homeschooling my baby as best I can, guys. He's learning math. We focus on math and reading and music. He participates in this musical program through the Grammy Museum, where they're teaching him how to play acoustic guitar. So he's practicing his music every day, and out of, I guess, boredom to some extent. He likes Spider-Man and has watched these Spider-Man movies since he's been out of school. And one of the Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man is a teenager and he's working with Mr. Starks. That's the guy that plays Iron Man. And Mr. Starks is thinking that maybe he's not ready to be an Avenger because he's a boy. He's just a boy. And my son decided he'd write a song about that to Mr. Starks. I thought that was... Listen, I'm supporting his creativity, okay? It ain't gotta make sense. Good God have mercy. But I'm supporting his creativity, okay? In addition to other things, we've been watching a lot of documentaries, a lot of movies that have significant life points of view about it, okay? In an effort to teach him and instill in him the ability to critically think. Because right now our educational system is simply stressed, at least here where we are, is stressed on being able to pass these tests, these state exams. Forget if the child really has comprehension skills. If he can verbally express what he has learned. We don't care nothing about that right now. We just need him to regurgitate the answers to pass this test. And listen, I'm not blaming the schools, because the schools didn't decide to add these tests. That didn't come from the schools. That ain't came from not one principal or one teacher. So I'm not blaming my schools for that. It is just as frustrating for them as it is for the students and the parents. I'm just saying that's the new educational scheme, and it doesn't work for longevity when it relates to children being able to make solid, sound decisions when they get out into this world and having to interact with other people. This is why our children feel like the only way now to resolve a conflict is to pick up a doggone gun. We can't talk nothing out. We can't fuss nothing out. Back in the day, we used to be wordsmiths. Before we'd even get to a fight, you only got into a fight if you couldn't hold your own in the wordsmith game, the yo mama game. You understand? You know, your mama's so fat. We did that. And only after you got waxed did you get your emotions and feelings, and then you want to fight. Now you don't even go through none of those channels. They just get mad, pull a gun, and shoot. No thought. No thought. All right, guys. Listen, today is Saturday. It's beautiful here in the great state of Mississippi. We're supposed to have some rain. I know we had some last night. Supposed to have some today. But the sun is out, and it's pretty right now. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is being safe. I hope, I do hope the country is able to get back open and up and running, and we can get back to normal. I just really don't believe rushing to do it is in our best interest. And two, I don't know how much back to normal we gonna get. I'm telling y'all. If companies have the analytics that they say they have and that they're using, if their analytics show that they have been able to run their country and run it profitably with people staying at home, and with less people, the country may open back up. Some folks may go back to work. But what about those employees that an employer has realized I really don't need? Hey, I'm paying for that building space, leasing that building space, and I realize I don't even need that building. My people work harder, just as hard, if not harder, being at home than they ever did coming to that building. And they decide they don't need that building no more. It's just expense. It's going to allow their bottom line to increase. I'm just saying. These are questions that we have to ask, and we got to be ready and position ourselves. The one reason why I push in my basic financial literacy course, My Money Matters, that you have got to have savings. You need to have money. If you are working, you need to be saving money that you got at least a year worth of your salary stacked up, and you got an emergency fund. Most people are getting hit really, really hard are people who don't have no money. The average family don't even have $1,000 saved. So if you're off work but you're able to still get paid, to God be the glory. But for many, 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 many Americans, that situation doesn't apply. They got laid off and they still don't have their paychecks coming. So for those of you all who are able to be off work and still get paid, you better be stacking your money, because if we go back to work and this thing don't work out well, we're going to all be back at the house. This is why Susie Ullman is saying, don't spend that money. Keep that money. Don't pay your bills. She's talking to broke folk. I mean, really broke folks who are not prepared or situated and able to have money still coming in, or have positioned themselves that they saved enough money where they got a year that they can live out of their savings because they prepared for a day like today. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're not in that situation and you need money, you got to feed your family. Hey man, call your creditors and tell them you need a little help and hang on to that money. Now listen to me good. I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. Part of the push to get people back to work or back out into society is to spend that money they just sent you. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Okay? They need you to spend that money, that $1,200, that $2,000, that $2,400, that extra $600 a month, $600 a week you getting in your unemployment. They need you out there spending that money, and you can't be out there spending it if you at home. So now I want to ask you something now. Is your life worth $2,400? Is your life worth that $600 a week, 4 weeks, $2,400? Is your life worth $2,400? Is your life worth it? Because if you go back out there and there's no real plan set in place to keep the citizens safe and alive, you risk dying. And I know, I've heard it. I heard it all. But the people you hear talking about it are rich folks who got businesses, who want people back out so they can keep spending that money so their businesses can keep rolling. And I don't got no problem with that in and of itself. I'm a business owner. You understand? So I ain't got no problems with that in and of itself. But when you're talking about jeopardizing thousands of people's lives so that you can make money when you already financially secure, come on, man. Stop lying. Stop telling folks it's about the small man and his business. No, it ain't. It's about y'all, the people who already got money, that want more money or want the amount of money they've been having continuing to come in. This ain't got nothing to do with the small man. Stop it. Stop lying. Stop lying. Now, having said that, as I said before in my last video, we do need the economy to get kick-started. And to that degree, something has got to give. There has to be a balancing act. There has to be. But what I'm saying to you is use your good common sense that God gave you. Seek God first. Do you hear me? And make the best decision for yourself and for your family. That's all I'm asking you to do. Use the good common sense God gave you. Think and ask the question. Do you understand? All right, family. I appreciate y'all. I ain't mean to get serious like that. But come on, we got to think. We got to stop being sheep, man. I was at a service one time and I had heard for many years, we're sheep and God is the shepherd and the pastor is the under shepherd, and you need the pastor to help guide you because you a sheep and sheep are dumb. And I remember being at a service one time and hearing the preacher say that, and before I knew it, that thing rose up in my spirit, and I said, I ain't no sheep because I ain't dumb. If that's the only qualification of a sheep you can teach is that a sheep is dumb, thereby I need you, then that devil is a lie. Because after a while, if you've been in Christ, if you've been studying, if you've truly been discipled, if you've truly been able to rightly divide the word of truth, then you become an adult. Jesus told the disciples, I no longer call y'all servant. You are my friend. At some point, there ought to be a level of maturity that happens to the saint. That makes me no longer a sheep, but a workman in God's pasture. While I'm going out and I'm planting seed, which is the word. Come on, somebody. Don't keep calling me no dumb sheep. I'm not no dumb sheep. The devil is a lie. As I grow up naturally, I'm supposed to grow up in the word. Paul said at some point now, you need to come off that milk of the word and get on the meat. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm no longer worried about who talking about me. So-and-so said this. Who gives a flying flip? She may say something different tomorrow. Who cares? Bless God. Hallelujah. I'm not going to preach on y'all. I didn't come on here to preach. I already been on here too long. I didn't come on here for all of this. Y'all stop. Y'all stop. Hey, listen, I'm going to be talking about some money, some things you all can do with your stimulus check and the money you got coming in. So I'm gonna have my Facebook information down in the description box, because come on over to the Facebook page. It's not gonna be that long, so I don't think it's gonna be worth uploading the video to YouTube. I might do it anyway, but just come on over to the Facebook page, okay? If you want to find out that information. Listen, guys, enjoy your Saturday. I appreciate y'all so much. You all know I don't have no problem telling you, if it wasn't for you all, there would be no channel. And I appreciate you guys so very, very much. So very, very much. All right? God bless you. I hope you guys, as I said before, are staying safe, okay? And as usual, congregation, I'll see you next time. God bless you, family.